This is question 14 in test 5, section 8 of the official SAT study guide. It reads, if 0 is less than x and x is less than 1, which of the following statements must be true? Okay, so one thing that's important to note about this question is that it says what must be true, which doesn't mean which of the following can be true some of the time. It means it always needs to be true. So first we want to characterize x. So x is greater than 0 and less than 1. So that means it's a fraction. So let's pick any fraction. Probably one of the easiest ones you could pick is 1/2, which is perfectly between 0 and 1. And then if we plug that into some of these answer choices, we'll see which of these answer choices is true when x equals 1/2, and we can get rid of some answer choices based on this. Okay, so x squared would be 1/2 times 1/2, and you just multiply across the top. So x squared is 1/4. Let's figure out what x to the third is. You could do this several different ways. I'm just going to show you 2 ways. You can raise this whole fraction to the third, in which case you would distribute to the top and to the bottom, and you get 1/8. Or some of you are going to be more comfortable with writing out 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2. So this gives us x to the third. And then we actually have almost everything we need. The last thing we need to figure out is what x divided by 2 would be. So 1/2 divided by 2 is actually going to be the same as 1/2 times 1/2, because 1/2 divided by 2 means you're multiplying by the reciprocal of 2, which is 1/2. So this will actually be 1/4 as well. Okay, so let's see which of these options is true. X squared is greater than x to the third. So that means 1/4 is greater than 1/8, which is true, because if you put this in your calculator, it'll give you a smaller number since 8 is a bigger denominator getting divided into the same numerator here. So 1 is true. Number 2 would be 1/2 is greater than 1/4, which is true for a similar reason. So this is true. And then 1/2 is greater than 1/8. Oops, sorry. Okay, so this is also true because this denominator is larger, so it's going to be, overall, 1/8 is going to be smaller than 1/2. So that means all 3 answer choices must be true. You could plug in other numbers, but this is sufficient to prove that this will work with each of these statements.